Welcome back to Truth Drop. Here's a story you probably didn't know. What do Korean noodles, dried fish, and the smartphone in your pocket have in common? Well, back in 1938, a 28-year-old entrepreneur named Lee Byung-chul started a tiny trading company in Korea with just 40 employees. Their business? Selling exactly that. Groceries. Fast forward to today, and that same company has become a global empire. It builds some of the most advanced phones on the planet, constructs world-record skyscrapers, and is a world leader in everything from military hardware to memory chips. This is the incredible story of how a humble grocery business survived wars, economic disasters, and even a 50 million bonfire of its own products to become the tech giant we know as Samsung. Every massive company starts with an idea, and for Lee Byung-chul, it started with a name: Samsung. In Korean, it means 3 stars. The name was a declaration of his ambition for the company to one day be as powerful and everlasting as the stars in the night sky. Of course, that vision seemed a long way off from his reality of trading vegetables. But then, after the Korean War, Lee saw an opportunity to help redevelop the nation. He expanded into manufacturing textiles and soon opened the largest woolen mill in Korea. This wasn't just a lucky break. It was a savvy move, supported by government policies aimed at boosting large domestic companies. That decision built the financial bedrock for everything that was about to happen. By the late 1960s, selling textiles just wasn't enough. Samsung was ready to jump into the future. In 1969, Samsung Electronics was born, starting with a single, humble product, a black-and-white TV. Throughout the 70s, the company quickly added refrigerators, washing machines, and color TVs to its lineup. The real turning point, however, came in 1974, when Samsung acquired a stake in Korea Semiconductor. It was a monumental risk, but it paid off in ways no one could have imagined. In 1983, Samsung developed its first DRAM memory chip, officially putting itself on the global tech map. By 1993, it had surpassed its rivals to become the world's largest producer of memory chips, a title it would hold for 3 decades. The chips powering its competitors' devices? Many of them were made by Samsung. Samsung was growing faster than anyone thought possible, but a crisis was brewing just beneath the surface, one that threatened to bring the whole company crashing down. If you're hooked on this story, make sure you're subscribed because you won't want to miss what happens next. By the 1990s, the founder's son, Lee Kun-hee, was in charge, and he was not impressed. Sure, Samsung was making a lot of stuff, but it had a reputation for being cheap and unreliable. The defect rate on its mobile phones was a staggering 12%. The breaking point came in 1995, when Lee discovered that a batch of phones he'd given as New Year's gifts were all faulty. Furious, he staged one of the most dramatic events in corporate history. At the Gumi factory, 2,000 employees watched in silence as a massive pile of 150,000 brand-new defective phones was set on fire. As the $50 million bonfire raged, a banner hung above it read, "Quality is my pride." The message was unmistakable. Lee famously told his executives to change everything except your wife and children. Out of those ashes, a new Samsung was born, one obsessed with quality, performance, and design. That fiery commitment to quality came at the perfect moment. In 2009, Samsung launched its very first Android smartphone. Just 1 year later, it released the Samsung Galaxy S, kicking off one of the greatest rivalries in tech, Samsung versus Apple. The Galaxy series was a runaway success. By 2012, Samsung had dethroned Nokia to become the world's largest mobile phone maker. But the company's ambition didn't stop at phones. Its industrial division, Samsung Heavy Industries, grew into one of the world's largest shipbuilders. And its construction arm, Samsung C&T, served as a main contractor for the world's tallest building, the Burj Khalifa. The three-star vision of its founder was no longer a dream. It was a reality. So how does a company go from selling noodles and fish to defining the future of technology? Samsung's story is a masterclass in relentless reinvention, bold risks, and a fiery, literally, devotion to being the best. Today, Samsung continues to push the boundaries of what's possible, pouring billions into AI, foldable phones, and the next wave of smart technology. It is a powerful testament to its founder's original vision, to build a company that is big, strong, and shines for an eternity. Follow Truth Drop for more real stories behind the world's biggest brands.